Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I could go up a wee bit more, actually. Yeah. Great. So welcome, everybody. Now, the general rule of this place is it's really difficult to look in both directions through 180 degrees, and there's a huge empty space just here. So if you'd all just like to filter right in, as close as you can get, make me feel comfortable. That's good. Closer, closer, closer. Come on down, all of you. That's brilliant. So let me just start the evening by introducing myself. I am Professor Michael Arthur, and I have the great honour of being the President and Provost of UCL. And I like to think of this evening as one of the best evenings of the year in what is clearly the best university in the country. So welcome to this evening, because tonight we are celebrating the bursaries and scholarships which are provided to UCL by numerous donors, many of whom have come along to enjoy the evening. So we've got our donors, we've got our recipients, our scholarship recipients, and we've got quite a few of the academic staff that teach those students here in the room. So it's a very important evening because it's about celebrating success, and it's about celebrating everything that UCL is good at and is very proud of. I think we can turn it down a wee bit because I'm getting lots of feedback. That's great. So what we would like to do this evening is to obviously introduce several speakers, but before we do that, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background to the scholarships. When we first started this evening, we were discussing it just now, we could have held it in the broom cupboard round the corner there. There weren't so many scholarships. So the first thing I want to say is what a huge number of people we've got in the room, obviously recipients of those scholarships. Welcome to all of you, but very importantly, welcome all the donors who make this possible. And as you've gathered, the number of donors and the amount of money coming into bursaries and scholarships is going up and up with each individual year, which is just fantastic to see. There's been a particular success during this year that I want to highlight for you, and that is that over the course of this year, the government, through HEFGE, offered in an interim period, because they're changing across to postgraduate loan schemes, they offered matching funding for postgraduate scholars from the government. For every £1 that you gave as a donor, we could add £1 from the government. And that led to over £500,000 worth of additional support, and it created 340 new master's scholarships. So a huge thank you from me to all of you that responded to that opportunity. We phoned around, we got in touch with all of our friends, we got in touch with people who didn't realise they were about to become friends, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal. And there are 340 people, therefore, in this institution this year who wouldn't have been able to come without your generosity. So I just wanted to point that out because that was a huge one-off success. And when the students come, by the way, they don't just come here, they don't just add excellence, they don't just come here to study, they add a huge amount of atmosphere and a huge amount of excellence to things outside their immediate curriculum. So a couple of examples of that. One of our students directed a show which was from the African and Caribbean Society that was called Pan-Afrique, and that was a great success. And then we've had another student who has been working with the British Museum, for example, photographing, transcribing and archiving some historical journal entries relating to Selena Woolley's 1922-1934 excavations at the ancient city of Ur in Mesopotamia. And I've been practicing that all afternoon, that particular sentence. So that's just to give you a flavour of what's going on. We are also trialling tonight and seeing what you think of it, some of our new branding for our campaign. So philanthropy is absolutely at the heart of UCL, and we are building up to a significant philanthropic campaign, which will launch this summer. We can only get to that position, by the way, through your continued generosity. We've had a successful year. We're now, it's always, I think, a bit crude to mention sums of money at these events, but if I was to tell you that we were the third most successful university in the land at fundraising over the past year, that's a great achievement from Laurie and the team, and from all of you, our donors. So we're second, so there's Oxford and Cambridge, who don't really count in life, and then there's us. So we were next, and very, very importantly, with a team only half the size, we managed to outperform King's College London. So we're very proud of that, and that's encouraged us, and we will be launching a philanthropic campaign. I think we've got some launch events lined up for London, haven't we, for September, and then I go globe-trotting, opening it in America and China and Hong Kong and other places like that, which will be fun. It's also Philanthropy Month this month, so we're celebrating that. And there are so many things I could talk about where philanthropy is important. You'll see lots going on around the campus, lots of works on the estate, most importantly of which the last free site that we have, which is affectionately called the beach site. I have no idea why it's called the beach site, because I can't see a beach anywhere in sight. It's the bit between the theatre, the Bloomsbury Theatre, and the terraced houses, which is the back entrance. In about 2 years from now, that will be a brand new student centre, and it'll have 1,000 places for our students to study and work. So we're very proud of that, and there's some philanthropic support, of course, gone into that. It's about a £62 million development altogether. So another piece of excitement for us. Of course, let me say the blindingly obvious. We've got a great attendance tonight. We could, with your generosity, have even more next year. So please do think about us and continue to give generously to this great cause.